America, the land of the free and the land of yes, I'll supersize that. A place where dreams are loud, fries are unnecessarily huge, and even the squirrels have attitude. It's a nation that gave the world jazz, Hollywood fantasies, and quite possibly, maybe space travel, filmed on location in the moon or a suspiciously well-lit studio. To be confirmed, we've got people looking into it. It's also the home of Elvis Presley, a man so iconic that half the country still believes he's alive, working undercover at a Vegas buffet. If rhythm is a language, America wrote the national anthem. Yes, the U.S. can be chaotic, loud, a little too confident at times. But beneath the fireworks and football is a spark that refuses to fade. The belief that anyone from anywhere can become something extraordinary. So here's to the United States. Wild at heart, fearless, flawed, and funny as hell. The country that shoots for the moon, and every now and then actually lands there. But under that same moonlight, in a quiet town straddling the Texas-Arkansas border, something far more sinister once lurked. A shadow no one could name, a phantom who hunted where young love bloomed, a terror so chilling that decades later, the town still dreads sundown. This is the story of Texarkana's Moonlight Murders and the killer who vanished without a trace. On February 22, 1946, just after midnight, on a quiet back road called Richmond Road, two young lovers, Jimmy Hollis and Mary Jean Larry, were parked beneath the moonlight. When a masked man stepped out of the darkness and ordered them out of the car, terror began its countdown. Both survived, barely, battered and traumatized, and Texarkana tried to breathe again, hoping it was a one-time nightmare. March 24, 1946. 1 month later, hope died. Richard Griffin and Polly Ann Moore shot and left in their car near a secluded lover's lane. This time, there were no survivors. The Phantom had made his declaration. He would be back. April 14, 1946. Paul Martin and Betty Jo Booker never made it home. Their bodies were found miles apart, hunted, chased into darkness. Evidence was thin. Fear, however, was overflowing. May 3, 1946. Then the killer changed the rules. No lover's lane, no car. A married couple, Virgil and Katie Starks, attacked inside their own farmhouse. If love couldn't save you, walls wouldn't either. Texarkana locked its doors. Curfews, shotguns, couples stayed home. The police collected shell casings, tire tracks, and terrified statements. But every clue led into a darker maze. Days turned into weeks, weeks into a long, sleepless summer. And the Phantom? He simply disappeared, as if swallowed by the night that born him. Whoever he was good at one thing: staying a ghost. The Phantom didn't just attack people, he attacked the police department too. Every investigator in Texarkana was thrown into the hunt. Texas Rangers, local sheriffs, Arkansas officers, each convinced they could outsmart a ghost. But the killer chose his battleground well. Dark roads, sprawling farmland. 2 states' worth of jurisdictional chaos. The Phantom didn't need to run. Confusion hit him. Detectives combed the earth for tire tracks and shell casings. They knocked on doors, questioned boyfriends, strangers, anyone who liked a night drive. Forensics in 1946? It was magnifying glasses and gut instinct. Geographic profiling, before anyone had a name for it, led police to believe he lived among them. Close enough to stalk lovers' lanes, close enough to know when the fear was highest. And as the attacks grew more brazen, a picture began to form in the minds of investigators. A man confident with a gun, military-trained perhaps, someone who blended in so well that nobody even remembered seeing him. They set roadblocks, surveilled parked cars, couples drove in pairs, headlights tailing headlights. The city became its own watchdog. But the Phantom simply stopped. No new clues, no fresh footprints. Every lead evaporated like breath on a cold window. The case didn't just stall, It froze in time. Today, detectives who still remember the fear can only agree on one thing. The Phantom was someone who knew how to disappear. Not a monster, not a myth, a man who walked among them long after the moon set. When a killer hunts couples, he isn't just attacking two people. He's attacking what they represent. Love, safety, innocence parked beneath a moonlit sky. Modern behavioral science, the foundation of criminal profiling the FBI would build decades later, suggests offenders like this are often fueled by resentment, anger built from isolation, from rejection, from a life that never gave them what they watched others enjoy. Couples are chosen because they have something the killer believes was stolen from him. Connection. It's not the man he hates, and it's not the woman. It's the bond between them. From the way the Phantom moved, calm, confident, in control, profilers today would estimate he was likely young to middle age during the attacks, strong enough to overpower his victims, skilled enough with a gun to strike without hesitation. Some investigators believed he might have served in the military, not only because of the weapon, but because of his precision. Others suspected he lived close by, blending into Texarkana like a neighbor you never truly notice. He left little behind. No fingerprints, no footprints worth a name. Just terror, echoing across state lines. Whoever the Phantom was, he understood how detectives think, even before profiling existed. He struck fast and vanished faster. No letters to taunt police, no trophies to brag, a predator who refused to become famous. And maybe that's the most chilling part. He didn't need the world to know him. He only needed the world to fear him. Before the headlines, before the name Phantom echoed across America, there were young people in love and families waiting for them to come home. Richard Griffin and Polly Ann Moore, Paul Martin and Betty Jo Booker, Virgil and Katie Starks. Names spoken softly now, but once spoken every day by people who loved them. These weren't cautionary tales. They were bright futures. Richard Griffin, a quiet, hardworking man who hoped for nothing more than to build a steady life with someone he loved. Paul Martin, only 16, a boy with a car full of friends and a future full of possibility. Virgil Starks, a farmer and a provider, a husband whose home should have been his safest place. Polly Ann, just 17, remembered for the kind of laughter that could warm a room. Betty Jo, the town's musical prodigy, her saxophone dreams aimed far beyond a rural border town. And Katie Starks, who survived the attack that took her husband. A woman forced to live with the memory everyone else feared, that even home was no longer safe. When a life is stolen, the world loses more than a heartbeat. It loses every birthday not celebrated, every dream not chased, every memory that never got the chance to exist. And for Texarkana, the pain didn't end at the funerals. It lingered in locked doors and emptied streets. Young couples stopped going out. Ordinary nights became battlefields of fear. A town that once trusted the dark learned to dread it. Neighbors looked at each other differently, wondering if the monster lived next door. Decades later, people here still speak quietly about 1946, because trauma buries itself deep, and the mystery left behind became a kind of wound that never fully healed. So tonight we remember the victims, not for how they died, but for how they lived. Their stories cut short, but never forgotten. Texarkana never found its Phantom, not in the shadows of lovers' lanes, not in the silence of locked doors. Some questions were buried with the victims, and some still walk those moonlit roads. And although Katie Stark survived the Phantom's fury, she never saw the face behind the gun. She escaped with her life, but not with answers. But just as one mystery fades into darkness, another rises from the sea breeze half a world away. A man with no name, a message no one can decode, a death with no cause. From Texas night to Australian dawn, our search for truth continues. Next stop, Somerton Beach, the Taman Shud case. It is finished, or has it only just begun? Stay curious, stay cautious, and remember the moon keeps secrets too.